Hello, I'm Kim, and this is Beth.
And today we're going to discuss satire.
Don't you mean sat on a tire?
No, Kim, I mean satire.
I knew that.
The first definition of satire is the use of irony, sarcasm, ridicule, or the like in exposing, denouncing, or deriding vice, folly, etc. In verse or prose, which human folly and vice are held up to scorn, derision, or ridicule.
I'm a walking satire.
What do you mean?
I'm a diabetic who likes sugar. Ironic, no?
Okay, now that's funny, but we are supposed to be talking about the Bible here.
Yes, true that. Tell us more, Beth.
Okay, well, satire is funny because it causes us to laugh at others' foolishness as well as ourselves. God uses sarcasm for humbling us, not for humiliation, although that usually is the case. It is also used in the Bible to point out the foolishness of sin. Whether its intent is humor or in all seriousness, either way it is used appropriately.
One example is from our reading in Palmer, pages 76 to 77, where Jesus is gathering the disciples. When he first meets Nathanael, he states, "Behold an Israelite indeed, whom is no guile." Jesus is talking in irony.
Because the Hebrew definition of Israel is guile and deception, Jesus' intent wasn't to insult Nathanael, but it was to make a joke out of God's chosen people, but at the same time honoring Nathanael. He was honoring Nathanael in the fact he was showing a vision of the future for Israel, a vision of openness. So, another example would be in Proverbs 21:9.
Better to live in a desert than with a quarrelsome and nagging wife.
So the humor in this is that the desert is terrible. But yet, the real horror to this husband is being in the house with a hostile and nagging wife. I mean, that's pretty bad when a man would rather be in the desert, in the heat, with no water, than at home with his wife. So, that's pretty funny.
Our final example of humor in the Bible is another excerpt from Proverbs.
A sluggard buries his hand in a dish. He will not even bring it to his mouth.
This verse is funny because the lazy man, or the sluggard, can get his hand in the bowl but can't seem to get it out because he's lazy. It is ironic how lazy man is so lazy he can't even get his hand out of the bowl. Just think of how a couch potato eats potato chips. Chips, couch potato. But this dude is so lazy, he can't even find the motivation to get his hand out of the bowl. Sounds like the Super Bowl, right?
Yes, it does. Anyways, thank you for your time, and we'll see you on our next segment.
We have a special guest, Howard Macy, giving his expertise on humor in the Bible. See you next time.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
There once was a dear little maid with beautiful baby blue eyes. Of men she said she was afraid. I'm afraid that this maiden was wise. This maid had a dear little dog, and the dog he was very well bred. And she loved him because he would give her his paw and sit up or lie down as she said. The men despised the doggy, and the dog despised the men, for the maid would play with the dog each